What's up, guys? Alright, so we're going to have a look today for our Tip Tuesday installments at a couple of things, from tee box play right down to your mentality going to the green. Coach is going to be here with me, sort of guiding me through the whole process.
How's it, Hubbers? Well, Jurie, nice to be out here with you again. Beautiful day in Africa. We're standing here on the 7th tee at Wingate Park. Very narrow, tight little par 4. But yeah, we first of all just going to start off here on the tee, as Jurie mentioned, and then just talk about some things as we get closer to the green, etc, etc. So Jurie will first be teeing off here, and then we'll sort of take it from there.
Cool, let's do it. Alright, so we're at the 7th at Wingate. To those of you that have played Wingate, you'll know it's an extremely narrow hole. To those of you that haven't played it, I'm going to pop a picture on screen now. So I'm going to be teeing it off with my 3U, and my go-to shot with this club is a draw. So if I look at this hole, it's a bit of a challenge to actually get a good draw going because there's big trees on the right hand side. So I'm gonna ideally put this on the left, but the one thing that I'm not really sure about is how far left I can go on this one. Do I have to keep myself in the limits of the marker, or what's the ruling on this one, Coach?
Well, Jurie, it's actually a very good question, and quite interesting. Jurie's approach to this hole, he actually mentioned he wants to hit a draw off the tee. Now, normally when you want to hit the draw off the tee, if you're a right-handed player, I would actually suggest tee it up on the left-hand side of the tee. It just makes your landing area a bit bigger, bringing in the ball correct from right to left. But as you've mentioned, there's a couple of big trees on the right-hand side. If you wanted to hit a cut or a fade off this tee, I would have suggested to tee it up on the right-hand side. But a quick rule we're going to discuss here, the teeing ground itself, is where can I actually tee up the ball and where am I allowed to stand and not allowed to stand. So if you look at the way Jurie was sort of originally going to stand, just sort of standing inside that marker, teeing the ball up roughly in this area, sort of opening the hole a little bit more for his draw. One thing that you are allowed to do is you're actually allowed to stand to the outside of the markers as well, Jurie.
Okay.
So only the ball needs to be within the marking area. Now, interesting, we took a picture earlier just for you to see the line basically between these markers. So first of all, the ball can't go past that line, can't go past the markers here, so I can't go tee the ball up over there. The furthest forward I can go is basically in line with the markers, but also I can place it back or tee it up within 2 club lengths. So if I take this driver over there and over there, it basically makes a little rectangular square here. And yes, that's basically known as the teeing ground.
Yes.
So you're allowed to tee the ball up anywhere within this area. You are allowed to stand outside the markers. And interesting, if you look at the difference between where you would have stood and now moving back to standing with your feet outside the markers and just teeing up the ball on the inside of the marker. Obviously, maybe I have seen some people put it a little bit too close to the marker, which could mentally just give you a little bit of a hint of insecurity with the swing. But I would say for the way that you want to play this hole, by teeing up with the ball as close to the mark as possible, positioning your feet on the outside of the marker, you're giving yourself a little bit more space to be able to start this ball on the right and draw it back to the fairway.
Okay, and you can't touch the marker at all? This is not a movable object that we can just...
No, you're not going to do that. No, you can't do that. So we'll keep the marker as is. And yeah, as we said earlier, you can now tee it up anywhere you'd like.
Go, yeah?
Yep.
This is something new. This has opened up a whole bunch. It's only a meter on the tee box, but it gives a whole different dynamic. So yeah, let's put this one in the fairway.
Well, Jurie, that worked out absolutely perfect. It started just to the right half of the fairway. Little draw to the left, it has run probably just off into the semi-rough, but as you've mentioned, it's interesting, your view from the hole looked completely different, just that meter or
100%.
so to the left hand side of the tee. So it definitely made your life a lot easier. And a very good question there, because a lot of people don't actually know where exactly they can and can't tee the ball up on the teeing ground. So you've approached this perfectly. You've hit a very nice shot. So there we go, something new and something for the viewers out there. The next time you go onto the tee, know what you can and can't do.
Yeah, play to your strengths, boys. Open the hole up.
There you go.